Okay, yeah. Welcome to Bluegrass 101. This is an opportunity to play and sing along. And I'm going to be teaching the harmony and also how to do the lead and providing lots of opportunities to take breaks on this song. And the song we're doing tonight is Your Love is Like a Flower. Originally recorded, actually it was written by Everett Lilly. Now, Everett Lilly was with the Lilly Brothers, and Everett Lilly was with the Lilly Brothers, his brother B, and when Curly Seckler left Flatt and Scruggs from about 1950 to 1952, Everett Lilly stepped in to play mandolin. He wrote this song, but never recorded it with Flatt and Scruggs. He would leave in 1952. Curly Seckler would join the band and play mandolin and be the tenor to Lester Flatt for many, many years. But yeah, and then Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt got writing credit on this. So my sister just said, "Love you, Darcy." Love you back, sister. And yeah, welcome everybody. Let's start playing here. We'll get through the chords. We're going to start it in B flat, and the song is "Your Love Is Like a Flower." I want to hear that boom chick. Bluegrass has a backbeat, so it goes boom chick, chick, chick. Emphasis on beats 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream when you whispered so sweetly, "I love you," as the waters murmured a tune. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of love. I remember the night, little darling, we were talking of days gone by. You told me you've always loved me, that your love for me would never die. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime and blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of love. It was spring when you whispered these words, dear. The flowers were blooming so fair. But today, as the snow falls around us, I can see that your love is not there. Oh, they tell me love is like a flower in the springtime and blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. So that is the chord structure. It is a classic Flatt and Scruggs chord structure. The 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5, 5. So many other songs fall into that category. So this is a great song to learn in kind of that structure and be able to play along because it fits into so many Flatt and Scruggs songs. But let's go into some of the details that Lester Flatt is doing when he's singing. And I'm going to be talking about Lester Flatt, and then I'm also going to be talking about the Bluegrass Album Band's version from Volume 2 that was recorded 1980 something. Don't I have it written down? I don't. But it was on the Bluegrass Album Volume 2, and Tony Rice is singing it. They sing it much faster, and he does some slightly different vocalizations on it. But let's talk about Lester Flatt's vocalization. First off, through the verses, he's doing a lot of vocalizations, such as they tell me your love is like a flower. So a little bit of a scoop there, flower. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream. When you whispered so sweetly, I love you. So you has this really love you as the waters murmured a tune. And he's really playing with the where to put the beats. He's swinging it, and he's playing ahead of the beat sometimes, and then pausing and playing a little bit behind, and it creates this really nice little push and pull. So you could sing it as the waters murmured a tune. That's very much on the beat. He sings as the waters murmured a tune. So he's shortening some and lengthening others. As the waters murmured a tune. So he shortens the ah. He doesn't go waters murmured a tune. Waters murmured a tune. And he goes slightly ahead on tune to kind of push that beat. As the waters murmured a tune. Now, as he does all of these scoops and everything, that's perfectly fine because he's singing through the verses and he's singing alone. As he gets into the chorus, oh, they tell me your love's like a flower in the springtime blossom so fair. Much more straight ahead. He's hitting those notes much more cleaner. It allows the harmony to really blend nicely, and also he's not doing these really weird syncopations which would make it very, very difficult to sing along to. So yeah, much more straight in the choruses, and then much more fluid in the verses. Another interesting thing that he does, and it's not so interesting, but it is because of how the Bluegrass Album Band did it. In the fall when it withers away, dear. He goes down on dear. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And Tony Rice in the song goes, in the fall when it withers away, dear. So he's repeating closer to how the second line, on the first line, they tell me love's like a flower. He's singing it exactly the same. In the fall when it withers away, dear. But Lester Flatt did not sing it that way. In the fall when it withers away, dear. They tell me that's the way of your love. And the very last line of the chorus, they tell me that's the way of your love. Da 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 da. A very interesting, interesting step that he's doing there. They tell me that's the way of your love. Okay, so think about all of those things and also hold your notes. A huge secret of sounding like a really, really good singer. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. I'm holding that moonlight on the vowel. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream. When you whispered so sweetly, I love you. As waters murmured too. Holding out your notes, especially in the chorus when the harmony comes to allow those really nice blends to happen. Okay, so let's go through the song one more time and think about all of those things. We're also going to add breaks after each of the choruses. So if you're really wanting to play those breaks, this is your opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream, and you whispered so sweetly, I love you, as the waters murmured too. Oh, they tell me love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Break. I remember the night, little darling, we were talking of days gone by, when you told me you always would love me, but your love for me never died. Oh, they tell me love's like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Break. It was spring when you whispered those words, dear. The flowers were blooming all fair. But today, as snow falls round us, I can see that your love is not there. They tell me love's like a flower in the springtime and blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of love. So that is the song. Now I have a question here. If you have questions, you can post both on Zoom and on Facebook. I am reading all the comments. Lee Funky just said, nice shirt. Thank you very much, Lee. And Bob asks, for strumming purposes, do you put a down up stroke on the chuck sometimes or even all the time? Would you normally add a stroke in the second boom some of the time? Now, Lester Flatt, when he sang, when he played guitar on this, he was pretty... straightforward. He would just do the boom chuck, boom chuck. I tend to put a little more into it, a little bit of kind of some of the, not quite the Tony Rice, but a little bit more of the Jimmy Martin, Dan Tyminski. So what I'm doing is I'm doing boom chuck for sometimes, and then I'll do booma chukka, da 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 da. Still the beat, the main beat is on 2 and 4, but I'm just adding these upstrokes. And you can go. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or you can do 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's all different things. I do it tend to, like, sometimes you can do that to really push the beat at the end of a line. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. So I'm pushing into the next beat. We're sitting on the banks of the stream, where we whisper heart so sweetly, I love you. So it tends to break it up so it doesn't get so monotonous on it. So in short, play a little bit around on that second boom, some of those upstrokes a little bit, and see where you like to hear them. I know where I like to hear them, kind of end at the end of phrases, pushing them into the next bar. But that's me for sure. Good question, Bob. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the harmony on this. Now, Curly Seckler was singing harmony, and because it was just a duo, just the two of them, he was not tracking the lead exactly. He wasn't going down when Lester Flatt would go down. He wasn't always going up. In fact, he held the notes quite a bit. So he would go, they tell me your love is like a flower. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower. In the springtime blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And they tell me that's the way of your love. So really he's parking on notes for quite a while, which means that sometimes he's a third above Lester Flatt and sometimes he's a fifth. Or in bluegrass we call it the tenor, which is the third, sometimes the fourth note, and the baritone, which is the fifth, sometimes the sixth note. So they tell me your love is like a flower. So he's pitching up right before the chord change. They tell me your love is like a flower. In the springtime blossom so fair. Blossom so. That's when he goes down. Blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And they tell me that's the way of your love. So we are in COVID. So how do we get an idea of what the harmony sounds like? Well, I have a program called Audacity. It is free to download from the internet. It's spelled Audacity. That's Audacity. And what it does is it allows you to add a track and record yourself. So let's record the lead. Whoa, that's interesting. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, oh, I know why it's doing that. Okay, try number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower. That's not recording. Check, check. Now it's recording. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower. In the springtime blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, they tell me that's the way of your love. And I just sang it wrong. I sang it the way that Tony Ray sings it. It's subtle, but it bothers me that I did that wrong. The fall when it withers away, dear. I want to go down on dear. Okay, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower. Springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. They tell me that's the way of your love. Okay, so we have the lead. Tell, that's your first note. Oh, they tell, oh, they tell me your love. Okay, so let's sing the harmony to this. We're gonna crank this up as loud as we can. Try this again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. Okay, this is really embarrassing. I have had the microphone turned around the whole way, so it's probably a lot louder now. Probably sounds a lot better. Okay, let's record this. We're going to record the lead one more time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. Have to mess up sometimes. Okay, so let's, oh, they tell. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. So it has some really, really cool harmonies where it's split apart and then it comes back together in this really nice 1 and 3 sound, like the tenor and the lead. Let's do that harmony again and listen to it. 1, sing along. 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. So it ends perfectly, but there's a little bit of like dissonance, this tension that happens, and then this really nice resolve. And that's kind of how bluegrass is. There's a lot of tension that occurs, even though it's like really just 3 chords and pretty simple stuff, but this really nice discord, then it resolves, discord again, resolve. So it's tension, resolve, which sounds really, really cool. Okay, that is the Flatt and Scruggs version, but we are going to go now to the Bluegrass Album Band. We're going to shift up to the key of B. This was recorded by Tony Rice, Doyle Lawson, J.D. Crowe, and this was on the second Bluegrass Album Band album that they released, and it has some wonderful classic bluegrass on it, and I would recommend it to anyone. But let's talk about the way that they did harmony. Now, instead of doing a duet, they did it as a full trio, and because they did it as a trio, if you're singing the tenor, the above part to the lead, you're going to have to track that a lot more, because if you start to deviate from it, you're going to team up with the baritone, which is being sung below, so that you're going to be singing the same note only an octave apart. So you don't want that to happen. So truly, the tenor in this case is going to be tracking Tony Rice's lead the whole way. Hey, tell me, so there's the lead. Tell me your love is like a flower. So instead of parking on those notes, tell me your love is like a flower that's the way of your love. Tell me that's the way of your love. I have to put on my Doyle Lawson singing hat for this because it is a little bit different. Let's do that again slower. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, a blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Do her one more time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. Really cool end there. Tell me that's the way of your love. I love the steps that he's doing there. So we have the tenor. Let's record the lead again in the key of B. For those just tuning in, we're doing They Tell Me Your Love Is Like a Flower in the key of B. Okay, let's sing the lead. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. Okay, so we have the lead. Audacity also allows you to do multi-track, so I'm going to add another track here, and we're going to lay down the tenor. 1, 2, 3. Well, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime and blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. Close enough for rock and roll, close enough to get an idea. 1, 2, 3. Well, they tell me. A little bit behind. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so that's the lead. Let's talk about the baritone. So this note, tell, and this note is taken, tell. So the only note left in the chord is the root. Oh, they tell, that's the note I have to start on. Tell me your love is like a flower. Because the chord changes, I have to change what note I'm hitting on there. They tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, it blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. So the end, because of that chord change that is going from the root 1 to the 3 chord, or 1 to the 5 chord, you have to go, tell me that's the way of your love. Everybody else is going down, you're parking on the note. Tell me that's the way of your love. Let's do that again. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. They tell me that's the way of your love. So let's hear what that sounds like with the other parts. Sounds terrible on its own, but when you add the other parts, they tell, 2, 3. Well, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And they tell me that's the way of your love. Tell me that's the way. Tell me that's the way. Yeah, I'm right. Wanted to make sure I was singing the right note. Hear that again. 1, oh, they tell, 2, they tell, 3. Well, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime and blossom so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. And they tell me that's the way of your love. All right. So we have the 3 parts. But what we haven't done is given you guys an opportunity to sing the lead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the full song as a backing track. I'm going to put in the intro break at the beginning. I'm going to give a little hint as to when to come in for the verses. And then I will sing the tenor and provide the rhythm guitar. And this gives all of you instrument players out there, guitar, mandolin, fiddle, dobro, banjo, to do the breaks in this song, and also gives you an opportunity to sing the lead. Or you can sing the tenor along with me. It's just a matter of your personal preference. So let's get the show on the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, intro. Springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. They tell me that's the way of your love. Break. Springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear. They tell me that's the way of your love. Break. Okay, hopefully I did that right. Sometimes I forget a verse or that I'm doing an instrumental break or something like that. So we have the guitar, we have the tenor. Now what we want to do is add J.D. Crowe to this mix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play banjo on this and sing the baritone so that you get a little more fuller of a sound when you're singing the lead. Okay. Oh. Okay. What do I want to do on this? Yeah, I'll do the intro and that's it. So I'm adding a second track to the program of Audacity. And as I said, keep singing the lead. Take lots of breaks in this. Gives you lots of opportunities to take breaks. But also, if you have been singing the lead, maybe try the tenor. Maybe even try the baritone along with me. Okay, let's get the show on the road. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Great. Tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Great. Tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Okay, all right. I really wish. So typically when I'm doing Bluegrass 101, we do it with the Northern Bluegrass Circle Music Society, and we tend to get a pretty good crowd there. And my good friend Jim Story is providing upright bass along beside me, making sure that I'm staying in beat and telling me when I'm doing something right and doing something wrong. And I sure miss playing with my good buddy Jim. Hope he's doing fine out there. I'm sure he is. But yeah, I miss him quite a bit. It's tough in this, but we will persevere. So I'm just lining up the tracks a little bit. Let's get the show on the road. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty close. Okay, so we have the lead. We don't have the lead. That's the one thing that we're missing. And we're also missing a mandolin. We're also missing a fiddle. There's some great, great fiddle in this. I think Benny Sims is a fiddle player on this. Let's see if I'm right. I do have this stuff written down here so that I can get it correct. Yeah, I didn't write it down. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Yeah, we have the tenor, we have the baritone, and I want to provide a little bit of a mandolin chop, and also going to be singing the lead to fill that in. And as I said, if you have been singing the lead, this is a good opportunity to try singing the tenor, maybe the baritone. You can even sing the high baritone in this, an octave above. I'm not even going to attempt to do it on this song, but sing an octave above what I was singing as a baritone. And also take breaks on this. Originally, there is no mandolin break either on the Flatt and Scruggs version or the Bluegrass Album Band. The banjo player does 2 breaks on it. Tony Rice does a guitar break. But this is a great opportunity, especially when there is no mandolin. You can fill in that mandolin however you want. Okay, let's get the show on the road. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream when you whispered so sweetly, I love you, as the waters murmured and flew. Oh, they tell me your love's like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your I remember the night, little darling, we were talking of days gone by, when you told me you always loved me, true love for me would never die. They tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime, blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, and they tell me that's the way of your love. Great. of spring when you whispered these words dear. The flowers were blooming so fair. Today as the snow falls around, you can see your love is not there. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower in the springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. That is Your Love is Like a Flower. And now, of course, I sang it in the key of B so that I could hit all the parts and be able to sing it. But you should always sing to the chord that suits your voice the best. If it's A, they tell me your love is like a flower. Or if it's G, oh, they tell me your love is like a flower. Or it's F sharp. They tell me love is like a flower. Tell me love is like a flower. Doesn't matter. Allow the other instruments to have to change and play in whatever key suits your voice, because the voice is the most important thing. Thank you folks all for tuning in to Bluegrass 101. That is Lester, Flatt and Earl Scruggs doing Your Love is Like a Flower, and the Bluegrass Album Band, Tony Rice, J.D. Crowe, and Doyle Lawson. If you have any questions, of course, you can fire off an email to me at darcyw, darcyw@gmail.com, or you can post it in Facebook. And I love you too, Mom. Thanks for tuning in every Wednesday. And I am here every Wednesday doing Bluegrass 101 and giving people an opportunity to play and sing in these crazy times as best we can. Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Keep your picking and your hands clean. Love y'all, and hopefully soon we'll be playing in person. But until then, tune in to Bluegrass 101. See you guys next week. Bye.